Hey there, I'm a DIY track guy and this is my humble garage. Today is new steering wheel day. But, full and fair disclosure, I'm hopelessly overconfident and dangerously underqualified, and everything from this point on is mostly useless. Especially this ridiculous accent and finishing sentences like this. Well, I've done it. I have gone full ricer. I am now the proud owner of an AliExpress steering wheel. I know what you're thinking. How can you compromise on such a critical part of the car and the driving experience? We've seen the videos of people able to destroy an AliExpress steering wheel just by pulling on it and ripping the thing right off of the spokes. Definitely a bad day at the track if that's where you are, and why would I want to put myself through that kind of risk? Well, why don't we try to at least use a little bit of common sense to figure out if there's any validity to the AliExpress steering wheel being made of popsicle sticks, duct tape, and tissue paper. So before we go ahead and put the new steering wheel on, with the current one, it'd be nice if we could come up with some kind of test to exert some force onto it, and then we could put the new one on and then run the same tests and see how much play we're seeing. What I have here is a cheap luggage scale. The idea of this thing is that you hold the scale like this, you hang the baggage, and then on the screen here, it'll show you how much it weighs. So what we're gonna do with this is attach this strap to the steering wheel at different points. Then we'll swap the wheels. We'll try the same tests on the new wheel and see if there's any difference. So let's do this, 5 pounds. Okay, so that was 5.1 pounds. 9.9 pounds. 19.8. Oh wow, I was able to get it right on 30. Okay, let's try doing the same tests. I think maybe we can skip the 5 pound one. Why don't we just do 10, 20, and 30. 10.1 pounds. 20.3 pounds. 30 pounds. And let's do the test at the 12 o'clock position. 10.4 pounds, 19.8, 30. And lastly, I know we didn't do it on the other ones. Let's see if we can't get to 40. Whew, that moved quite a bit. 39.5. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and take the steering wheel off. Okay, we got the new steering wheel in. So let's go ahead and use our luggage scale again. Let's do from the bottom spoke, this side spoke, and then in the middle here, the weakest area. 10.1 pounds, 20.1 pounds, bang on 30. Now let's try the left spoke here. 10.1 pounds, it's 20.3 pounds, 30. And let's do this from the 12 o'clock position again. 9.9 pounds, 19.8 pounds, 29.5, 39.9 pounds. So did you notice if there was any difference in the amount of play between the two steering wheels? I don't know. Let's review the footage. So this is not a Miata, this is an Acura CSX in the Canadian market. This has the stock 3-spoke steering wheel. So why don't we run the same test just from the top 12 o'clock position. So now that we're doing this job I actually don't want to use this hub. I would rather use a quick release hub, also from AliExpress, and I would like to try it out. I told you I was going full ricer on this, so you didn't expect that it was just an AliExpress steering wheel, did you? I should have also mentioned that the wheels are straight and that before unbolting this, we know that this bolt here is at the 12 o'clock position, and that has come out quite easily. So using the steering wheel puller has allowed us to pop this hub off of the steering column. This is our new hub, and you'll see that it has this ring on it that is attached to our horn button here. It also has the same locator pins, so I didn't want to spin this thing around, just leave it where it is, and then we'll try to get this thing on in the same spot. You'll notice that this spring here is going to come into contact with the ring. If you're replacing your stock wheel, I'm not sure that you actually have this. I've heard of people using a paper clip or a wire or something just to get it so that it contacts this ring on the hub. So watch a YouTube video about that. So this is our AliExpress quick release adapter for our steering wheel. Now you'll notice that it actually looks a lot like an older version of the NRG hub, and that's because it is. I think it's just a direct knockoff. First things first, I think we need to remove or to separate the two parts of the quick release. So you just pull the release, push that button in, and then this should come right out like that. Now that it's separated, we have 4 large bearings on the bottom here and 6 on the top, and they correspond with the 4 dents, bearing dents, and then 6 on that side. Just going to plug the spade connector here into one of these. Let's use some of this thread locker on these bolts here. This is the steering wheel part of the adapter. Let's pop this on. Again, want to be kind of gentle with these Allen head bolts. In terms of the actual hub itself, you can kind of put it on here. It clicks in. And what I want to see is how bad is the flex, the play here. Oh, okay, it's not great. So that's something to think about, whether I want to keep this. It was a bit of an experiment to see if this quick release was as good as an NRG, but at the moment, yeah, not great, not great. You tell me what you think. How bad is this? So because I'm a dum-dum, I put this hub on incorrectly. This should be facing the 12 o'clock position for me to get the steering wheel in the right orientation. What I've done is I've taken this nut off. The spec for this is 29 to 36 foot-pounds, I think. This hub is stuck on here. I can't humanly get this off with my bare hands. While I'm at it, I noticed that the back of this guy has 2 male connectors, and then we have a female and a male. So I'm gonna have to remove this one and use a female connector on this as well. So I may as well just do that now. Okay, so I need to align this in the 12 o'clock position, and there's these 2 pins at the back that need to align with these posts. I'll set this to 33 foot-pounds. So that's not working. I'm just going to hit it a little bit with my impact gun. Yeah, I think that's much more than 36 foot-pounds. The steering wheel came with a bag of goodies. It also came with these guys. The best thing for us to do will be to cut this off, and then solder and heat shrink this together. I'll take the longer one here, measure it out here, and just cut it right about there. Give it a little bit so that we can strip the shielding. And twist it. Feed it into the join here. Looks pretty good, right? Can you see that? Now slide this guy. And there we have it. Solid join. Okay, so our wooden Nardi steering wheel is installed with the quick release hub. To release it, you push the button, pull the collar towards you, and it comes off. To put it back on, the nice part about this is that you can put it on at any angle, push it down, and then rotate the wheel, and it clicks in centered. I have this wheel as well, the one that was on the car at the beginning of the video, so I also have another hub, so I'll only use this half. I'll install this on it, and that way I'll be able to switch between the two steering wheels. All right, we got the leather Nardi installed onto the quick release hub, so you just push the button, comes right off, just like the other one, so that's nice. So at the beginning of this video, I said that I purchased one of these wheels from AliExpress, but I didn't say which one. Which one do you think it is? Do you think it's the leather one, or do you think that this wooden one is the AliExpress wheel? Well, if you guessed the wooden one, then you would be wrong. This leather one is the AliExpress wheel that is a copy of the Nardi Deep Corn. Finally, just about the materials and the quality. Is this genuine leather? I don't think so. It's probably some kind of plastic pleather. The stitching is cloth. It looks pretty nice, but I would warn, probably not a good idea to get it too dirty, because trying to clean off this thread, there's probably no coating or anything on it. That'd be pretty tough. The leather on the spokes here, you can see the seam where the two leather pieces meet. And then the only other quality issue I see is that it's quite wrinkly at the bottom spoke here, just as I guess the wheel rim leather meets up together, as well as the seam here. If this is the center line of the wheel at the 6 o'clock position, this seam is a little bit off like this. So for me, I'm still on the fence, I guess. I'm gonna try running this, see if this fore and aft play is a problem, and then generally if the wheel is not good. I haven't made up my mind yet. I may go back to the that one-piece hub with the non-quick release, and I may just go back to this steering wheel or another steering wheel. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's wrap this up with a little best and worst. With a little best and worst. Let's start off with the worst. Reviewing the footage, we see that the knockoff Nardi wheel definitely had more flex, was more bendy than the other two. Especially when we look at the two aftermarket wheels when we did the 30 and 40 pound tests in the 12 o'clock position where it was furthest away from the spokes, it definitely bent way more than the Acura OEM wheel. Also, the knockoff NRG quick release hub adapter, fore and aft, it also had some play. So taking those two things into account, it seems like a pretty slam dunk that the AliExpress wheel is garbage and you shouldn't run it, right? Well, I'm not exactly 100% sure that should be the conclusion. So let's talk about the best. So the best for me was the surprise of that knockoff Nardi wheel. I actually do like the feel of the leather in my hand, or the pleather. I feel that the quality is quite good, and the bendiness of it, I actually don't mind it that much, and let me explain. I tend to grip the steering wheel at the 3 and 9 position in the traditional motorsports fashion. This gives me good leverage to pull down on the wheel along the turning axis of the steering wheel. I won't get into the benefits of why pulling down is better than pushing up on a steering wheel. Suffice to say that motorsports and racing folks tend to use this method. In high performance driving, pushing the steering wheel away from you or pulling it towards you with 30 or 40 pounds of force, especially at the 12 o'clock position, doesn't really make sense to me. Even under race conditions, I can't think of a situation where I would do that. So the fore and aft play that we saw in the aftermarket wheels, I don't think it'll affect me too much driving on the street or even on the track. But I'll keep an eye on it to see if that does affect my driving experience, and I'm not discounting maybe switching it out for a genuine wheel, maybe one that's a little more beefy and track oriented. The last thing I wanted to leave you with is a thought about the value of name brands. Name brands do have value. That's why they can sell a Louis Vuitton handbag for its prestige or its perceived quality. We're car people and we're part of the car community. Part of that community is the culture, and in that culture are well-known name brands. Those brands have value, they evoke emotion, they show quality, and I love seeing those name brand products on Miatas and other cars. So it occurs to me that running a knockoff Nardi wheel in my Miata is not unlike walking around with a counterfeit Louis Vuitton or Coach bag. So I guess it comes down to personal preference, and it's a judgment call that you and I have to make. For me, I already had the Nardi genuine wheel, so running this knockoff wheel was kind of an experiment. Now that I have that quick release hub adapter, although that is a knockoff as well, allows me the flexibility to change between the two wheels and come to a decision on which one I want to run as my primary wheel. So I'll leave a link to the wheel that I bought from the vendor on AliExpress. It's up to you. You make up your own mind. All right, that's all from the Mostly Useless Garage. Take care of yourselves and the ones that you love. You keep being awesome. I'll keep being useless. Thank you so much for watching.